Good morning. For those of y'all who already know me, y'all know I'm a talker, but this makes me very nervous. What an awesome treat for me to have the privilege to present my first merit award to ever present to Joan Turner. Joan's the chief perfusionist for the CVOR, and I've known Joan for many years. She's joined today with her father and some of our department. However, fortunately and unfortunately for us, we are working today. So Brad Barnes was kind enough to tape it for us so that we'll be able to share in the celebration a little bit later for Joan. Joan was born here at McLeod on November 4th, 1972, and raised here in Florence, surrounded by a great family, aunts, uncles, and grandparents. She has one older brother, and we all know that older brothers make little sisters tough. She was a graduate of West Florence High School in 1991, and then graduated from Francis Marion in 1995. After Francis Marion, Joan attended the Medical University of South Carolina, graduated in 1997, and wanted to begin her career as a perfusionist here at McLeod. Unfortunately, there were no jobs available. So she got a job in Rock Hill, South Carolina to help start a new heart program. And within a couple of months, McLeod called and offered her a job. That's been a great phone call. I wish I knew who made it, because I'll be glad to tell them thank you. She started at McLeod in September of 1997 and was promoted to chief perfusionist in April 2013. Joan enjoys some crazy hobbies. She likes to run marathons, she's competing in triathlon, and as a matter of fact, one later this month. Stand-up paddleboarding, pretty much anything outdoors, Joan enjoys. She also enjoys traveling and, most recently, cheering for the number 4 South Carolina Gamecocks. We'll take a high five on that one. Some comments from her peers for the core values of our hospital are, I've never met someone who gives as much of themselves as Joan. She's wonderful to all, whether an employee, patient, or friend. If Joan knows you, you are an instant friend. She is a fantastic boss by encompassing her staff as an individual as well as a teammate. She is concerned with the health, family, happiness, and fulfillment of her co-workers. Joan supersedes us in quality. She is focused on giving only the very best care to our patients. She encourages all to meet those goals. And integrity is by far her best feature. She upholds herself to standards way beyond expectations. Because of her commitment to honest, good, fair, and ethical work, I've become a better person. She makes all around her want to be a better person. Joan shows up every day to work happy, ready to do her best, lift others up, and have a wonderful experience. I tell people in my department most every day that the definition of integrity is doing the right thing when no one is looking. Joan has just that integrity. You never catch Joan going, whoops, I'm going to slip in here just for a minute, although I'm not appropriately dressed. She doesn't cut corners, she gives of herself, she's always willing to go the extra mile, and she sets the goal very high for those of us who work with her. When we told Joan about the Merit Award, she said, and I have a quote from her, I love working at McLeod because I feel like I am helping take care of my community. By living here all my life, most of the time I know the patient or someone they know or are related to. McLeod has grown into a major medical center but still has a small town feel to it. So it's my honor and privilege to present this to Joan.
Thank you. I'm very excited, as you can tell, to be standing up here today. I've been pumping cases for 17 years, and for 17 years I've probably been asked a million times, what is a perfusionist? And then the second question is, how in the world did you become a perfusionist? In the mid-80s, McLeod did their first open heart procedure, and my mom and my grandmother brought me up here to the open house for the open heart OR. And I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but I do remember that day. I remember the cookies that they served, which were wonderful. They were red heart cookies, and to a kid, I was probably 12 years old, it was great. I can remember standing in the hall, hundreds of people trying to get into McLeod to see the new Open Heart Center. It was a big thing for our community. people didn't have to go to MUSC or Duke anymore to have heart surgery. But I can remember us coming around the corner and Dr. Elwood Owens was standing there. The table was laid out with just, to me, it felt like 100 or more instruments, shiny stainless steel instruments on the table. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. This is important. This is big. And as a 12-year-old, I just thought, I want to be a part of this. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'd like to be a part of it. And I can remember leaving that day, my mom and my grandmother telling me, you can be anything you want to be. Just go for it. So I went on, and I met a perfusionist here at the time, and he kind of invited me to come and watch cases. Went on through school, and my senior year of perfusion school, I called him, and I could say his name. His name's George. You probably all know him. And I said, George, you know, I'm graduating from perfusion school. It's not good enough that I'm graduating. I want to come to McLeod. And he was like, Joan, you know, sorry we don't have a job. And I said, well, I'm going to give you time to get me one. I'm coming to McLeod. And he said, you got it. You'll be the first one I call. So, of course, once the moving van was empty in my new home, and I unpacked that last box, he called. And I was glad to pack the boxes back up and call Dad again. We got to load the truck back up. I love McLeod. I love my job, and I love my coworkers. I couldn't do it without them. I want to thank my dad for coming today. You've shown me a lot of love and support. But most of all, you've shown me to work hard. And when you work hard, everything else in life, it falls right into place. And I love you for that. Happy New Year.
Oh, words cannot express, I think, the emotion some of us feel. I think as parents, those of us who are, how just one small decision on a Thursday afternoon might change a child's life. And I think it bears to the extent to which what we talked about earlier, and that is that, you know, our lives are not our own. And we are given a purpose if we have eyes to see it. And Joan, we're so glad you had eyes to see your purpose at 12 years of age. We're going to take just a moment and